We're following the journey of a lifetime. At toddler age, we've looked at all the milk we'll drink in our lifetime. And at school age, we've seen a lifetime supply of bananas and oranges. We've looked at the teenage years and seen all the showers we will take and all the cleansing products we will use. When our couple reached their 20s, we saw our lifetime supply of beer and all the clothing we will buy. And we've laid out some of the appliances and household goods we will accumulate throughout our lives. Our couple have already built the foundations of their lives together, and now it's 10 years later. They're in their 30s. They have 2 children and have bought a bigger house. But we don't solely consume food and materials. We continually absorb information and culture. And like most of us, that means watching television. Even with our computers, we trust and depend on our televisions to bring the world into our living rooms. The average home has at least 2 TV sets, and the average American watches 4 hours per day. Over a lifetime, that's more than 12 and a half years spent sitting in front of the tube. When you watch the screen, you are never alone, because across the country there are another 285 million television sets. 12 years of TV watching burns more than 22,000 kilowatts of electricity, enough to power a light bulb for 43 years. Despite the popularity of television, it hasn't quite managed to kill off the written word. It's been estimated that at least 32 million books have been published over the last 2,000 years. And today, a book is published somewhere in the world every 30 seconds. The average American will polish off almost 6 books a year. $412 books over a lifetime. For portable news, there's the newspaper. With a population of more than 300 million, we need a lot of newsprint. Trees are the lungs of the planet. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. But to make all the papers you'll read in your lifetime requires 43 trees per person. Fortunately, they're grown specifically for paper making. It takes 500,000 trees just to make our Sunday papers each week. To make all our papers for 1 year, we have to cut down 100 million trees, enough to cover the entire state of South Carolina. Cutting down these trees means that 365,500 tons of carbon dioxide will be released into the atmosphere each year, rather than be absorbed by them to create oxygen. That's 1,000 tons of carbon dioxide a day, just to read the newspapers. If you're a lifelong New York Times reader, then you'll thumb through 40,040 pounds of newsprint. That's 41 rolls like this, stretching out for 407 miles. That's a path of newspaper long enough to stretch from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Over our lifetimes, we'll read this many newspapers, 5,054 of them. Then there's the magazines we buy, 1 million every day. Our love of all things paper doesn't end there. Those little greeting cards really add up. Around Valentine's Day, we send 192 million cards. But the big one is the holiday season, when each year we mail 1.9 billion cards. That's enough cards to cover the city of San Francisco. And then there's the wrapping paper on top of that. And while we're on the topic of cutting trees, we chop down more than 20 million Christmas trees each year, clearing plantations covering an area 30 times larger than Manhattan. The holidays are also a time to eat well. At Thanksgiving, the nation devours the bulk of its annual intake of 265 million turkeys, consumes a big portion of its 800,000 tons of sweet potatoes, and relishes the greater part of 332,000 tons of cranberries. That's almost 800 jumbo jets full. But that's nothing compared to the Super Bowl. The NFL championship is the #1 party event of the year. It's bigger than New Year's Eve. Almost 15,000 tons of chips and 4,000 tons of popcorn get eaten on that single Sunday. If each chip were lined up, the trail would stretch 10 times around the lower 48 states, or 182,000 miles. And a popcorn string that would circle the Earth over 5 times. In America, football may be our driving passion, but it doesn't beat our passion for driving. The car is freedom on wheels, and we have embraced it more than any other country on Earth. But have you ever begun to realize what its real impact is?
Human Footprint, brought to you by Lowe's for all